All right, all right, all right. It's a beautiful, beautiful Wednesday. Wonderful Wednesday. And guess what? We're almost done. About to head towards spring break vacation. Get excited. Couple things before I start with the lesson. Make sure after you do this, you take care of business. You get stuff done. Make sure you go back to any test dates. Make sure you take your test. Make sure you do your writing prompts. Um, if you need any additional attempts on any test, please let me know. Grades are going to be pulled on Friday, but I'm going to take care of them starting on Thursday, tomorrow. Please let me know if you need any additional help. I'm here to help. Make sure you know that my tutorials are also at 10 o'clock, 10 to 11, 1 to 2, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Make sure you go to the home page. Show you real quick. Make sure you go to the home page. Okay, it's not working. Okay, here we go. You click my class. You see my beautiful, beautiful homepage. It even says right there, click to join. You click that. It'll take you to something that says right there, tutorials. You should see my name right there. Click join and you'll see me right there, nice and beautiful. But let's make sure we know what's up. Sticking to today is dividing polynomials. This topic can be extremely difficult, but me, myself, and I'm going to make sure you all just get the nice idea of it. Won't be super complicated. I hope not. So here we need to make sure we identify the numerator. Dividend numerator is usually a trinomial or something bigger. Dividend is usually a binomial or something smaller. For this case, we're only going to be using these two because it makes it a little bit easier for you all to understand how to divide this. The two steps, make sure you set up the box method with the trinomial given, and then place the binomial on either side of the box, and then solve. Here we go. Examples. Let me zoom that in a little bit. All right. Now, right here is straightforward, just giving it to you in parentheses and stuff. For the quiz, I have it placed a little differently, so let's fix it right there. We got n squared plus 5n minus 50 divided by n minus 5. All right. We got the trinomial on the top, the binomial on the bottom, and now let's set up the box. Now, it's very important that when we put these places, we know that the top part is a trinomial which goes inside the box. So I know by now that I should have n squared right here in the corner. I should have negative 50 in the other corner. And hopefully by now, because we've done it so many times, we should know that these two boxes add up to the 5n. I'm going to use a different color. And these are going to add to 5n, so I'm just going to put a little red arrow to 5n. Okay, next, the binomial. I'm going to put it on this side because I like my answer to be on the top. You could do it either way. It's up to you. It's not a big issue. But for me, myself, and I'm going to put the n minus 5 right here. And negative 5. And now we need to figure out the top part. And this is the cool thing. Obviously, we should be able to see, okay, something times n gives me n squared. Hopefully, we know by now it's another n because 1n times 1n gives me 1n squared. After that, we should be able to figure the rest out. We got n times negative 5 gives me negative 5n. Okay. And even better, we should be able to figure out, okay, something times negative 5 gives me negative 50. Be very careful. Remember, you need to know your multiplication table. So I should know that it's 10, but is it positive or negative? You need to be able to know that. You could either divide it, you could play with it, turn this to positive and see if it gives me negative, put this negative, see if it gives me negative. But keep practicing and you'll find out that it's positive. How do I double check that? N times positive 10 gives me 10n. Then do yourself a favor. You want to double check? Let's do it. Negative 5n plus 10n. What does that give me? Positive 5n. Is that the same thing as that? Check mark. We're good to go. So what's my answer? I already used all the colors in the book. Let me just use black. Boom. My answer is n plus 10. Check mark. Pretty straightforward. So we set up the trinomial in the box. We put the binomial on the side. Make sure everything works to get the top part. Let's keep going. Pause if you need to watch it again. Of course, I wish we had you all here in campus so you guys could do it on your own. Let's set it up. X squared plus 3x minus 18 over x plus 6. Box method. Put some blue. X squared negative 18 positive 3. We should know that this adds to positive 3x. That's just a double check for us, okay? That's just letting us know if we're doing it correct. And now, x plus 6, put it on the side. X plus 6. And then we start working it out. Something times x gives me x squared. That's pretty straightforward. We did in the previous example. It's x. Next, we go to x times positive 6. That gives me 6x. Something times positive 6 gives me negative 18. Like I said, you should be able to know your multiplication. The only hard part is determining if it's positive or negative. So it's going to be 3, we should know. And now is it positive or negative? Well, positive 3 times positive 3 should give me positive 18, but this is negative. So hopefully you can tell that it's a negative 3. How do I double check that? X times negative 3, negative 3x. Add these two, 6x minus 3x gives me 3x. Looks good to me. So what's my answer? X minus 3. Check mark. So far, so good. So far, so good. Let's keep going. If you need to look at it, pause it, keep going. All right, here we have something a little different. Why? We added a number in front of the variable squared. Nothing too scary. 6w squared plus 10w minus 16 over 3w plus 8. Same thing, ladies and gentlemen. We're doing the same thing, just adding another element, a little more multiplication, division, no worries. Still same thing, 6w squared, negative 16. We should know that the middle adds to 10w. And then 3w plus 8. Goes right here on this side because Mr. Ramirez likes it that way. And now let's do it. Something times 3w gives me 6w. What number times 3 gives me 6? 3 times something else gives me 6. How many 3's do I have right here? 2. So I should be able to see it's 2w. 2 times 3 gives me 6. W times w gives me w to the second power. Let's keep going. 2w times 8 gives me 16w. And then something times 8 gives me negative 16. Something times 8 gives me 16, which is what? 2. But this is negative So be very careful. Positive 2 times positive 8 does not give me negative. So this 2 must be negative. How do I double check that? Check it out. 6w times negative 2, negative 6. Let's take out these guys. 16w minus 6w. 16 minus 6 is 10w. Does that match? Check mark. Easy peasy. Answer 2w minus 2. Last one coming up. Last one coming up. Please make sure you do very well on your mini quiz. Don't forget the discussion. Okay, these numbers are a little bit larger. 35, oops. 35q squared minus 58q plus 24 over 7q minus 6. A little bit larger, no worries. Here we go, 35q squared. 35q squared. 24. The middle parts add to negative 58. Be careful. Negative 58q. And then, of course, we do the binomial on the side. 7q minus 6. All right, let's go. Something times 7 gives me 35. You can always divide those, like I said before, but you should know your times tables. What times 7 gives me 35? Hopefully you know. It's 5. Don't forget the q, because q times q gives me q squared. After that, do the next one. 5q times negative 6 is negative 30q. And then now we just double check. Something times negative 6 gives me 24. Now this is a positive 24, so be very careful. I know it's going to be 4, but positive 4 times negative 6 gives me a negative 24. Double check. I promise you it's going to give you a negative. So you need to be able to play with it and know that's a negative 4 also. So negative 4 times negative 6 gives me positive 24. We could fill in this last part. Negative 4 times 7q, negative 28q. And then we could add these guys to double check. Negative 30q minus 28q gives me negative 58q. Check mark. Answer is 5q minus 4. Check mark. Pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool. The last parts I have here, I'll put a video on the separate side just if you want to check it out. This is not on your quiz, but there's something called the remainder. That will be on the separate video if you want to check it out. Obviously, if you're an all-star, you're going to check it out. If you're just chilling by, not really wanting to do much, you don't have to watch it. Please remember when you do please remember when you're looking at your folder, tomorrow's Wednesday, optional, choice sport, make sure you do the quiz, make sure you do the discussion. Discussion is pretty straightforward. Please be careful if you're not doing discussion. That is a grade, so it's an easy 100. I promise you. If you're not putting that much, 70. If you're not even doing anything at all, 0, of course. So make sure you're taking care of business. Not a bad grade. Easy 100 if you're at least trying. Grades are due Friday. Let me know if you all need any help. Tutorials at 10 o'clock and 1 o'clock. You all have a terrific day. You'll see my beautiful face on Friday.